Good afternoon from New York Realm. I'm in South Ozone Park. This is North Conduit Avenue, and up there is a rally against the city of Yes. And I believe Mr. Paul Graziano, the leader against what has got to be the worst housing program in New York City history. It's just a continuation of the old housing plan that's caused the housing crisis in the last decade. Well, anyway, let's take a look. Oh, it's happening right now. Whoops, sorry, guy. Yeah, I know. Okay, it's already been on. There's Paul right now. Oh, yeah, here it is. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Huh? Oh, I'm not going to cross. I'm here for the rally too. I'm just, yeah, I'm here for the rally too. I'm actually documenting some of this, so I'm just going to leave my bike here. Yeah, I know. I don't usually ride over here anyway. I'm just here for the rally. Yeah. Yeah, this is the deal. Yeah, that's the thing. This city of Yes is being led by the most corrupt mayor in New York City history. So the city of Yes has no credibility. Has no credibility at all. Whoa. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. And I have to get a new cord. Okay. Son of a bitch. All right, let's see what this is about. I just broke my cord. Yep, corrupt me because corrupt COI. I actually mentioned this. I've actually mentioned this 1,000 times before, and I mentioned this to all the YIMBY lobbyist faces. Yeah, that's what this is. And here we are. Here are even better signs. And there's CLJ.
Rockaway Peninsula from Far Rockaway to Breezy Point, Ozone Park, South Ozone Park, Woodhaven, and many other areas throughout the city all face the same risk: flooding. Howard Beach and Rockaway Peninsula are particularly vulnerable to flooding from coastal zones.
Bell Harbor's
while other
here.
areas represented here at this meeting at this get-together tonight risk flash flooding from heavy rainfall. Increasing the population density in these areas without environmental safeguards such as better sewers and coastal protections would be extremely dangerous, because without these precautions, many more people would be at a greater risk. I understand there's an increased housing opportunity, that increased housing opportunities are essential. But our existing infrastructure simply can't afford and support an influx of new residents that the city of Yes would bring. Schools, hospitals, transportation, other public services are already stretched thin, and this proposal does not adequately address these resources,
Not much media
which
here.
need to be expanded to meet needs. More importantly, the unique character and fabric of our communities must be preserved. These neighborhoods are just not some areas on a map. They're vibrant, close-knit communities with rich histories and traditions. The proposed amendment could lead to overdevelopment and risk altering the essence of what makes our neighborhoods so special. Some neighborhoods might be better suited for additional housing due to their existing infrastructure and lower environmental risks and potential for economic growth, including those already that have a robust transit and commercial centers. These areas are more likely will have the necessary infrastructure to support one more tool.
You're good.
So while the intention of the city of Yes may be to address the housing crisis, it's crucial that we consider the specific needs and characteristics of our communities. We need a balanced approach that promotes development while safeguarding the equalities and well-being of our neighborhoods. And I'm sure there are solutions that benefit all residents, both old and new, without compromising the integrity of our cherished community. Thank you.
Association.
Good evening, everyone. So many great things have been said. I'm going to try to keep it short, but we need to do shoulder. Let's warm up. Let's continue to keep together, fight the good fight, because this is going to destroy our neighborhood. There's no way that this is the answer. A blanket policy is not the answer. There's some great ideas in there, but they offer developers. The average New Yorker is not going to be able to afford to buy 2 or 3 homes, knock them down, put up an 8-story structure. That's meant for developers. And then what's going to happen? You're going to get more of what you're seeing now. Studio apartments coming in at $3,000 a month. One-bedroom apartments for $3,800 a month. And it's not just for one person. It's saying, hey, get 2 or 3 roommates. That's how you can afford it. So we're going to be a city that we can no longer live alone. We have to have roommates in order to afford it. That is not the way we want to live. That's not something we want to pass on to our next generation. This man needs to wake up, and any city council member who is part of this needs to wake up. We're lucky that we're being represented here by a council member with some sense. But we need to make sure we speak to our family members, we speak to our friends, and we spread the word. In 2 town halls, WRPA, we're going to come up with a whole bunch of signatures here from residents that had no idea of how dangerous this plant is. Because it's not being exposed of how dangerous the plant is. So please continue to spread the word, say no to the city and yes, and demand that we get what we want as residents. Thank you.
From the Forest Hills Community and Civic Association. Came over here to hang out with us.
Hi everybody, I'm so happy to be here with my brother and sister civics and with our elected and so on. So here's the thing, a little context. They were expecting with their 1,000+ page document for parts 1, 2, and 3 for us never to be able to figure out what they were up to. The only trouble with that is that I happened to have downzoned my neighborhood 22 years ago roughly. I took all the photographs, did all the paperwork, had to create a form because it didn't exist. They want to say that zoning was created to keep people out. No, it wasn't. It was to protect infrastructure and keep density under control because we already could see in other neighborhoods, areas where the fire department was freaked out because of all the weird structures that were being built. It was about infrastructure and quality of life, all ways. The thing is, they figured that all the people who did the downzoning were like, drop dead already? But I'm still here.
Yes,
Right. So just a couple of little pieces of information. Number one, not only is it one size fits all for the entire city, which is outrageous, because every neighborhood's different. It's one size fits all from California and Oregon, where they came from.
Yes.
Those lot sizes that those 1 and 2 family houses sit on are huge. My lot size, I'm in an Archie Bunker house. My house is 16 feet wide, and my lot size is 25 by property grab on us. So, I'm sorry, City Council, whoever you want to be, not all of you, the ones who are on our side, gone, but the ones who are not. You thought we wouldn't figure it out. City planning thought we wouldn't figure it out. These are our properties. You know them better than you do. You know, all of the city.
Next we have Bill Gargo from the Ashley Park Civic Association.
Bill.
Come on, friends. Yeah, Bill.
That's already happening in Bronx, what you said, about $3,000 a month studios. It's already happened. It's on the affordable housing program. It's sick. Yeah, Bronx, I'm surprised, but
We cannot have a plan that says one size fits all. This plan cannot fit Queens because it fits Manhattan or someplace else. There must be a division between what works for us and what works for other people. And it's clear that the people who put this together did not understand Queens. When you have a borough president that said, why do you have to think of zone when you can put 10 dwellings in one zone, they don't understand Queens, they don't care.
Yeah.
When you have an editorial board that says if you want to live in the suburbs, there are suburbs all around the city that you can go to outside of the city. They don't understand Queens and they don't care.
Correct.
We need a plan that fits us. We can get extra housing, but it's not this plan. We say no. We say to the mayor and to the city council, no, kill this plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
warm you up. We did this in Brooklyn last night. We had a nice big crowd like you're all here tonight. I'm on a city board, a state board, a borough board. I've been doing this stuff for 41 years. But now Paul's going to take over. Right? So let me give you some background. We're living in a crazy time. Here in big New York City, they even lie too.
Yes.
This is the big lie for New
Yes.
York. I do land use. I've been doing it for decades. Even in your community, wherever you live, you don't rezone your whole community either. Different sections, different areas. It takes you 5 years. You got to go to the community board 6 times. Then you go to city planning 8 times. They tell you to do this over, and you go back because everything has a cause and effect. So imagine, as I said last night, I don't see anybody wearing the same shoes. They may look. Imagine I said to you tomorrow morning, everybody in New York's got to wear a size 10. That's it, and only one shoe, and only one kind. I don't care if your feet hurt; they don't fit.
Feet of yes.
That's what they're doing here. So now let me give you the facts before we practice saying no. You all know how to say no, right?
No!
You say no? No! Number one.
We don't.
You keep hearing on the news every day. We've all been lied to.
Yeah, it's plenty of
Not only are there thousands and thousands, probably tens of thousands of empty units, and city-owned, government-owned, state-owned, there are private people sitting with units. I'm doing a sale on a house, on a building right now in downtown Brooklyn. It's mostly vacant.
Yes.
Okay? And I have plenty of friends who do big, big buildings. Those buildings are 50, 60, 70% vacant. The big secret in New York. Now, why am I telling you this? Because without changing one word in the zoning law in New York City now, the developers, big real estate, can build 5 million units easy. Some of us think 6 or 7 million. That can house 10 million people, no problem. What's the mayor's goal? 500,000 more units in 10 years. Think about what I just said. 500,000 in 10 years, which is, by the way, never going to happen. But if he did it, why? When you can already build 5 million right now without changing anything. Okay, think about this. And people are leaving New York. We all love it here. Multi-generation. My family came here in 1898. We're still here. But New York City's losing population. Why? Because of stupid crap like this.
Yep. Yep.
This is
One.
the problem. Thank you, Mr. Petsky. Okay, so what I want to do is make you understand you got to be heard. That means you got to go down and testify. That means you got to call up the speaker of the city council, and
We are in her district
tomorrow.
right now.
That's right.
Tomorrow, I want you to go
Speak
home.
around.
It'll take everyone here 2 minutes. Call up her office, tell them who you are, where you're from, and she better vote no if she wants to go someplace else in government in New York, because we're not going to forget.
That's
And the
right.
other
Good
34
idea.
people that are up for re-election, you tell them, we know who you are. You want to get re-elected? We're all together on this. The whole city. You got to tell her that. And then take a minute. You'll get right on our website. We all know how to do it now. Even old man me know how to do it. You pull up the email. You just tell them no and where you're from. It's okay. So I want to call out every neighborhood. Just tell me what neighborhood you're from.
Springfield Gardens.
In Springfield Gardens. What do they say? No! Where are you from?
Neighbor Heights.
Neighbor Heights. What do they say?
No!
Who else? Where are you from? Where? Douglaston. What do they say?
No!
What do they say?
No!
Where are you from in the back?
JFK.
Where do they
No!
say?
No!
Where are you from?
Rockaway.
What do they say?
No!
Anybody else? Where are you from?
St. Albans.
What do they say?
No!
Who else? Where are you from? El Alba. What do they say?
No!
What do they say in Forest Hills?
Richmond
What do they say in
Hill.
the back? Woodhaven. No! Rockaway Park. What do they say in Riga Park?
Rockaway Park. Richmond Hill.
Richmond
Richmond Hill.
What do they say in the Bronx?
No!
What do they say in Brooklyn?
No!
What do they say in Staten Island?
No!
In the city of New York, when we hear yes, we say
No!
Thank you very much.
Forgot to mention Sun Ozone Park right here.
You're warming up.
Sorry, I know. I'll get it from home. I'm terrible with names. I'm only good.
Advocate against the city of Yes as well. We are also joined by the Content Homeowners Association President Amanda Golia and Vice President Mark Anaya. They don't want to say anything. Mark
needs to go home and get some sleep. Okay, so a lot was said today. I'm going to keep it real brief, and I'm going to be real loud because we've got a lot of traffic. But you know what? People are watching us as they're driving by, and they're going to go home, and they're going to say, you know, I saw this crazy thing happen on Bell Parkway on the way home. What the hell is the city of yes? Because you know what? Over 10 months of me going from meeting to meeting, I've given 111 presentations since last November, and there's still lots of people who have no idea what this is. And you know what? This is going to affect their lives. It's going to affect everybody's lives. So let's start with just a couple of things. One, I'm going to build on a little bit of what Steve said and what everybody else said. This is a real estate scheme.
Yes.
This is not a plan. This is not planning. I'm a planner. I've been doing this now professionally for 27 years. And you know what? We don't have a housing crisis.
We don't.
We have an affordability crisis.
Yeah.
And you cannot keep saying, just because you say it doesn't mean it's true. The mayor who calls this racial justice, I don't think that's the case. The mayor who says, and the Department of City Planning that says, just a little bit more housing in every neighborhood. This is an extinction event for our communities. I don't say this to be bombastic. I don't say it just to make noise. I'm not running for office, people. This isn't about anything like that, as much as you want me to be president. I don't think my wife wants that. But the most important thing is, when you see in this plan neighborhoods all over the city, whether it's Ridgewood, or where I live in North Flushing, or in Marine Park, where we were yesterday, or the Rockaways, or anywhere else, and you see 400, 500, 600% increase in density. This is incredible. This is unsustainable. Unsustainable. Okay? We rezoned our communities, many of us here. Who had a rezoning here? Raise your hand. A lot of people. Why? We contextually rezoned our neighborhoods. You know what we did? We said, density on Cross Bay Boulevard. But you know what? On the side streets, let's lower the density. Density on Linden Boulevard. But on the side streets, let's keep it lower. Let's protect the 15% of the city that is single-family zoning, and the 10% that is two-family zoning. That means today, 75% of the city is zoned multifamily. Most cities in the United States are 65 to 85% single-family zoning. We are not like any other city in the country. I think we already know that, right? We're not like any other city in the country. And you know what? We should not be putting pressure on owner-occupied housing. We are not landlords. We are not people looking to make a profit. We are people trying to live our lives, right? We make up 31% of the city of New York. And guess what? It's mostly in our lower density communities, which is exactly where the mayor put his sights. The goal is to open up our communities for high density development with no infrastructure, no schools, no fire department and police, no water and sewer. They even wrote it in their report. It's not going to have any impact on any water and sewer. Can you believe that? No water and sewer impact. It's not going to impact the schools. It's not going to impact neighborhood character. So when you get a 5-story building on this corner, because this is in a transit zone, that's not going to change the character of this 1 and 2 family neighborhood, which, by the way, was rezoned 1 and 2 families 10 years ago, 2011.
They're pretending it's good for the environment. They're gaslighting.
Unfortunately, yes, the gaslighting, which is a great word, that's going on not just from the mayor and not just from certain city council members and their allies, but from the real estate industry and the contractors and the environmental groups. And by the way, I am an environmentalist. I am ashamed to see these groups that are supposed to be actually speaking for people, speaking for industry. And you know what? They wrote this plan. They wrote this plan. So here's what we all need to do. Yesterday we were in Brooklyn. Today, here we are, Queens. We're in the Bronx today as well. Saturday, we're in Staten Island. Monday, we're at City Hall Park, 1 p.m. Be there. City Hall Park, 1 p.m. at the south end of the park. We did this in June. We had an amazing turnout. We got great press, and it definitely made an impact.
Come to the park. It's fun.
Come to the park. It's fun. It's also going to be 75 degrees. It's going to be a lovely day. Tuesday is the public hearing. If you can't make it in person, sign up on Zoom. Do it today. Why? Why should you do it? Because I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. These people who are showing up representing the Real Estate Board of New York and the Citizens Housing and Planning Council and the Open New York, which is a bunch of real estate and tech billionaires trying to deregulate zoning across the entire United States. They're going to show up there with their lobbyists saying, I'm just a guy who lives in a neighborhood and my rent is too high. We need to do this. Okay? You know what? Adderley Park, how many members do you have? 800. And you represent about 3,000 people in your neighborhood. Bell Harbor, how many people do you have?
1,300 families.
1,300 families. One person speaking represents 1,300 families. Open New York represents Open New York. They don't represent 1,300 families. They don't represent 1,300 voters.
Yeah.
And I echo what was said. You must, Reverend Thorbs, you must tell these elected officials they are out